Welcome back to RGR, football fans. This is an exciting time. The draft guide is done. You can get that at rogueapc.com. You can use the code MatrixRGR. Get that. Get the Athletic Matrix. Get prepared for this draft because it's coming. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, whatever goes on, it's going to be in there in one shape or form. Now, there's a ton of other resources. You can check out my Twitter timeline at Ryan Tracy NFL for more resources if you would like them. But today, I need to move on and start getting caught up. My board is under construction right now. I'm going through some of the scouting reports that I didn't write or our team didn't write and do some cross-checking, and I'm getting ready to build my board. I will release that. We have all kinds of content coming for you this week, but I wanted to get you a piece right now that's a little bit different. It's not going to be hugely long. It's audio only, but got a chance to go on 810 Sports in Kansas City with Josh Brisco, and it was a tough night in the middle of a snowstorm for me, but it was an interesting conversation. He brought up a lot of good topics, and I want you guys to get a chance to hear some of that too. So this is audio only. I'm going to put a visual behind it, but just check this out and see what you think. If you're new to the channel, click the like, the sub, and the bell notification, and I'll be back in the morning with a couple more clips this week. The mock draft live is on Thursday night. Dan's got a couple videos for the evenings here in the meantime, so we're all kind of working away on it. I think you guys are going to dig it. But this is 810 from the other day. I hope you guys like this, and I'll catch you again tomorrow.
Well, we're not going to do it right now.
Not going to do that.
We're not going to do it right now. We'll circle back to Beards' video games, but we got Ryan Tracy on the line right now. You can follow him on Twitter at Ryan Tracy NFL. Go check out the Athletic Matrix. The new one for this draft class is out now. It is fantastic. It's also his pinned tweet on Twitter right now. Again, at Ryan Tracy NFL. You can also listen to him on the Locked On Chiefs podcast and watch RGR football on YouTube. Ryan, first question. A snowstorm on April 15th?
Welcome to Colorado, that's all I'll say.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I live up about 10,000 feet, so you never know what's going to happen. But, about 6 inches in the last 2 hours.
We had you up on a cabin rooftop, just wiring satellites together, maybe a roll of aluminum foil in your back pocket. How close to correct were we?
You are really close. I'll have to send it.
Boy, that sounds horrible. Well, thank you for making some time amidst the snowstorm and also getting your power back to chat with us for a little bit. We'll keep it nice and tidy tonight because I want to talk a little bit about the Athletic Matrix, a few specific guys, a few specific things this Chiefs draft class is, or the potential draft class, I guess. But obviously, so much of our conversation the last several weeks has been about the tackles. They've continued to not draft or not sign any tackles in free agency. Before we get to the specifics of where these guys land in the Athletic Matrix, how many tackles in this draft class, top to bottom, would you be comfortable with playing at left tackle, protecting Patrick Mahomes' blind side day one of their NFL careers?
Oh, maybe 5.
Okay, I think that's one higher than I was expecting it to be. So Sewell, Slater, Darisaw, Jenkins, Cosme?
Yep, you got it. I think Cosme fits, and a lot of people will talk about that, right? But I think Cosme fits the frame of what the Chiefs have liked in the past. He doesn't have to have uber length. He's about 33 even on his arm length. But he moves his feet real well. He's got the athleticism that they generally drift towards, so I think that they can probably get that done with him.
He was also the guy that jumps out of the class on the Athletic Matrix. I wanted to talk to you specifically about him some, so let's dig in like you're doing through. I just got the picture from Ryan here. Oh my God! I mean, it just looks. If this happened in January, I'd be annoyed. That is
right.
It's the trees are beautiful, but you also have to live there, which seems less beautiful.
Yeah, well, this is what the internet's for, right?
Yeah, wow, I guess it is. My goodness. But so you've got Cosme performing incredibly well again across the overall the master athletic page of the tackle group. How impressive have his measurements been, and how much does that come through in his game?
You know, that's the thing that sets him apart is he moves well, especially when he is disengaged and he's looking for work. And that had always stood out to me whenever I watched them live or whatever. down and actually saw some of the footwork when I got all 22 of the college games, that it really was like, okay, he's functional within their offense, but he's got more to give than maybe is on this film. And I think that's what separates him in terms of taking the next step and being one of those top 5 tackles that I think you could be comfortable with versus some of the guys that are more of a stretch, like the Forsyths is getting a lot of praise right now, the Hudsons, the Kermans, the guys that are clearly more developmental and not only in technique but have not the movement skills. So I think that's a nice blend that you can get away with.
So now, I mean, within the specifics of where the Chiefs are at, it's kind of funny because it seems like pretty universally at this point, those first 4 guys are off the board by early to mid 20s. Jenkins could be in a trade upable. I'm making that word up. A trade upable range for the Chiefs. Cosme probably there at 31. Let's say that Jenkins is on the board, but is probably going off in the early 20s. What would the difference between those guys be for you if you're looking for the Chiefs' next tackler? You're going to try to see if you can land Cosme at 31. Would you move up for a guy like Jenkins? Would you wait until one of those more developmental guys and still circle back on a vet?
Honestly, I think that there is a lot to be said for the demeanor with which you play. And I think that's one thing about Jenkins that sets him apart.
Yeah.
I would not be afraid to move up for him. In fact, the more that I watch this class, I'm not sure that the prognostications or, all the mock drafts start moving players around. I'm not sure that the league sees Cosme as a top 30 player. So I'm guessing that he's a viable option at 31. That's my general feeling right at this minute. But I think Jenkins is worth going to get, especially if you're talking about moving up less than 10 spots. I think the cost to do so is probably acceptable to the team. And quite frankly, you can't say that there's a bigger aspect of their game that they feel uncertain about. The fact that they pursued Trent Williams that much tells you just exactly what important sort of priority they put on it. So I don't know if it's even Jenkins. If they like Darrisaw, I can see them going up for him as well. And I'm usually the one that says, hey, the value of the draft is in moving back.
Yeah.
In this particular case, with the blind side of 15, there are no holds barred in terms of moving up.
Yeah. I think that's fair because I am very much in the camp of move back or at least stay put. And because oftentimes if you move up, it becomes even more important that you are dead on correct in your evaluation. And that's really hard. Like being that kind of precise is really difficult. But you're right. I mean, there is a number 1 need for the Chiefs, and then there's like a number 3, 4, and 5 need. But 1 and 2, and maybe 1, 2, and 3 are all protecting Mahomes' blind side. But with that being said, what do you think about the second, third, and really just the day 2, I guess, sort of range of tackles that could be there at 63, could be there in the 3rd round, that could, if the Chiefs have another option in mind post-draft for a day 1 starter, is there anybody or is there a class of depth from that range where you say, you know what, I think they could actually build something from one of these guys?
There's one guy who stands out to me, and it's because of his track record, because of his film. He doesn't have the greatest kick. I think that belongs to Tevin Jenkins in this group. But he shuffles his feet pretty well. He seems very long in the torso to me, but he's a guy who hasn't given up a sack since 2018. And playing at Notre Dame, you get a level of competition that's confident. And even though I don't think he's one of the top 5 that I'm super comfortable with day 1, I think Liam Meichenberg is somebody that they can work with. And if they try it for a year, especially if they do sign a veteran backup for left tackle, if it doesn't work out, I am 100% confident that he can slide into a guard spot, even if it's on the other side in 2022 or beyond, and be a player that actually puts out for you and does a better job than what you have there right now.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about myself whenever I feel like I leave the door pretty far open and you say a whole bunch of things and I'm just left nodding and smiling about, thinking, you know what, I might not be the biggest, dumbest idiot in the world because a lot of this is making sense to me. I'm feeling pretty good about all these things. Who's a guy from maybe up in that range that you think is being overrated or over-evaluated, or you think, you know what, I'll go ahead and steer clear of that guy in that range?
Steering clear is a difficult thing. I think 2 guys in particular, Carmen from Clemson, Hudson, Cincinnati, I think they're both a little overrated on what are a lot of common mocks and that kind of thing. I think the adjustment period for them is going to be longer. I don't disagree necessarily with their long-term projections, but in year one, knowing the Chiefs need somebody on the field, I'm less comfortable with those guys in the 40-ish range.
Yeah.
I would think they'd be more towards the 60-ish range.
Yeah, that tracks also, I think.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.